Oh man, it stopped recording again. I have no idea where it stopped, but I'll do a review video for YouTube, because since this is going to be an on living project. Okay, so now I'm happy with this. So this is where I cheat. I'm going to take a piece of tape, and I'm just going to tape all of this across the back. So it stays in place. And I didn't get that lined up. Yeah, I did. Okay, so now I cannot write upside down. I'm not that good. I can create upside down, but I cannot write upside down. So I'm just going to slide this over so you guys, is this in frame where you guys can see? You guys are amazed at my talent of creating upside down. So G-I-B-B-S. I write that every day. You'd think I'd know that that was 5 letters. So with 5 letters, G-I-B, one of the B's needs to be in the center, the dead center. So let's go. I'm just using a jelly roll pen. And let's see. I can't talk and do this too because I will mess it up. And there we go. And I'm a little off, but that's okay. I think a little swirl will fix that right up. And maybe bring this back out and swirl it around. Fill that in, maybe fill that part in. Maybe make that a little bit bolder. And I'm going to leave that alone for now because what's going to happen is I'm going to mess it up, messing with it. So I'm going to hit it with the heat just to make sure that it's good and dry so I don't smear it. Okay. Put that away for now. We're almost done, believe it or not. We haven't even done anything. Okay, so now let's start gluing it down because I'm pretty happy with the position of everything here. So I'm going to pull this up. I'm going to put hot glue here, here, and I'm going to put it on the pieces of the lace where you're not going to see it, and then a glob of it in the center because you're not going to see it anyway. Okay, lay that down. Remember what I said about the fraying? This is frayed out really bad. I don't really care, but I'm going to put a little spot of hot glue across that side right there so it doesn't continue to fray. I don't care that it's frayed right now, I just don't want it to continue to fray. Same thing with this. I just love the shabbiness of this. How are you guys liking this so far? Okay, I put this next. Was this next or was this next? Yeah, this was next. Okay. Now what the trick to this is that when you get this in place, make sure it looks like it's running straight across, all the way across. Because and don't put the glue all the way to the edge on this because you will see the glue through this. So I didn't glue this part of it because I knew I was going to be hiding that glue with this. Does that make sense to everybody? So just kind of put your thumb in place and just put it right there. Like that. So it looks like it's one big piece of ribbon. And it's not. And then I'm going to put a little spot of glue right here. I might want to put just a pop dot right there in the center if I can find them. I know they're here on my desk somewhere. Can't find them. Not going to worry about it. And then I want to line up the point of this with the peak of that, the point of that. If that makes sense to you guys. This is not upside down. It's upside down for me, but not for you guys. I create upside down so you guys see it right side up. I don't know how I do it, but I do. I guess it just comes from all those years of making YouTube videos. I just got good at it. I can't write upside down though. And I'm just going to line this up in the center. Try and keep it even. This is the inside of my cover. We haven't done the outside cover yet because this was going to be kind of flat and the outside cover is going to be real bulky, and I wanted this to be flat when I was decorating it. Is that what you were asking me? So in the number set, you have these giant numbers, so I was going to use the 2013. And once again, I want to put my jump ring in because I don't want to mess up and put my 3 where my jump ring would be interfering with it. So with that said, I think what I want to do is I'm going to take a little bit of glue, and I'm not gluing all the way to the edge because I might want to tuck around it. And I'm going to put my 3 down first, then maybe bring my 1 over the top because these numbers are so big that I want to make sure I can see everything. And I know I definitely want the 2 to be on top of that big bulky 0. Maybe part of it, like that. You guys like that? So I'm going to put a little bit of glue. You don't need a lot of glue. These aren't going to go anywhere. Okay, so this is the inside cover of our book now. Peggy's hooked. Okay, so let's do the outside cover and then we'll be done. Because I think my back cover I'm just going to pretty much leave plain anyway. I usually do. Okay, so remember those flowers we misted? They may or may not be dry by now. But I think they're pretty. Oh, wait, no. There was one more thing I wanted to do here. I have these crocheted flowers, which I crochet myself. If you don't crochet, just look through your stash. I'm sure you have some because they were very popular for a long time. I love the look of crocheted flowers. So that's why I'm using it. But you could use a regular old everyday flower that was this color if you wanted to. And then I just have a little bow I made with twine. And then all it is a loop, and I tie it in the center with, I just pinch a little, here I'll show you. You just take it and you go loop, 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 like that, until you have as many loops as you want. And you always end on the opposite side you started with. And then you just take a piece of floral wire and twist it in the center to tie off the bow. And then I have this cute little button. It's just a little plastic button. I'm not even going to bother to cut the shank off because this is so thick that it'll fit right down in the center of that, like that. And I have some of my holly, and I used about 9, I think, in this. I would suggest just doing a whole bunch of this because it's Christmas time and you're going to use it. And I'm just going to tuck that in right there. Maybe right there like that, and then maybe come up the back side of it a little bit on the bottom. And I'm going to call that stinker done. Now it's done. Okay, so on this back side, I have pulled out of my stash. I'm going to show you guys how to do these. Let me pull everything out of the bag so I don't miss anything. Whoops, I'm dropping stuff. Do y'all have a problem with your floor being like the black hole? Because if I drop something on the floor, I will never see it again. Alright, this would be so much easier if I just did this. There's my other cover. And then do you guys have the Starlet pen? I love this thing. We're going to use it too. Starlight, I guess that's what it's called. So here's my 2 big holly, and they're going to go kind of up here at the top, like this. I'm going to have one going down and one coming up. And then here's my big flower, and I want to put one of those Prima centers there. And these have been out for years, so I'm not sure if they're still available, but you guys can find something comparable to go here in the center if you can't find them. But I think they look like snowflakes, so I love them. And I bought up tons of them. Now, on these are going to be my holly berries. And all it is one of these white stamens that you get in the floral section. And then I took my Copic marker YG99, and I painted the stems first because as I rolled them around, I didn't want to pull the red off of my berries because the stems aren't going to be seen near as much as the berries will. So I just sat here and colored them all up. The stems are waxed, so they're not going to hold the ink very well until the ink dries. Once it dries, it's permanent, but they will rub off. So I'm going to give that a second, and then I pulled out my Copic marker R29, and you could use, honestly, you could use Sharpies for both of these colors. Just find whatever color, green and red, you want. I would suggest going with something with a little more olive tone to it, and Sharpie has tons of colors out now. So as long as it's a permanent marker, it's fine. You could do the same thing. You could also use alcohol inks. I would just find that the alcohol ink might be harder to control on the smaller space. I don't know if you're really good at it. But see how now we have instant holly? And the cool thing is we started with white, so you don't have a bunch of colors you don't need in your stash. You just color them up whatever color you want to use. Isn't that cool? Okay. So these are going to really pop up against the sea of white and browns. See? See how they just start to pop. Now, I will say this, as we're building this spray, we're going to go ahead and start gluing, because if not, you will go nuts. So let's start with our spray first. We're going to take 3 of these poinsettias, and we're going to put them off into, when I put them down, I'm going to offset them so that no one is at the same size, or at the same level. Okay? This one's slightly lower than this one's tall. Then I'm going to take the stems and I'm going to twist them around. Okay. Then I have my pine cone we got to work into here. Remember that guy? And I decided after fidgeting with them, trying to get it together, that I wanted my pine cone to kind of sit off here a little bit into this space. So then I'm going to take these tulips and I'm going to twist them around the stem of the pine cone and the other flowers. So I have 3 little poinsettias, 1 pine cone, and 3 of these little tulip buds. And again, you're going to keep them offset. Wrapping them around that toothpick. Don't worry about the toothpick, you're not going to see it when we're done. And I think I'm going to wrap this one more time this way, just so it has a little more. You don't want this to be too tight. Give it some air. That's going to be too tight probably. Give it some air. You want some air between these flowers because that makes it look a little more like a spray. Okay? Now we got to work our holly in. But I feel like the holly is going to kind of get tucked in as we fidget with this to hide the stems. So I'm happy with this placement. I'm going to go ahead and glue this one in on the top right here. What was a good idea? I missed it. And I'm not gluing my flowers down. I'm just putting glue on my stem. And I'm going to hold it in place until it glues down. Now, hot glue traditionally doesn't stick permanently to fabric, but I found that when I'm done, this ain't going nowhere. Now, stay clear of those jump rings. And I think that was another reason I really only wanted 2 jump rings, was because I didn't want to have to dodge them. Okay, so I'm happy with that. I'm going to start working in my holly. And I'm going to take and put just a spot of glue here in the center of the front and kind of pinch it up a little bit in the center and pull it back down. And that's going to give it a little depth and dimension. And I'm going to start working that in to hide these elements right here. I want to hide that stick. You could also use some floral wire around that. I mean some floral tape if you wanted to. The trick to floral tape is to wet your hands when you twist it, and that activates the glue in the floral tape so that it activates the glue in the floral tape so that it sticks. If you've ever had trouble getting it to stick, that's probably why. And then I'm going to come back over here on this side, and I'm going to put 3 of these holly branches on each side. Remember, I got my big one still. But see how they're just hiding those stems? And I'm going to come back and put 1 back over here. I might end up using 4. Yep. Now, aren't you glad that I broke this up into different classes, because we can really get in here and do some detail work and not be rushed to get an album finished. I just think this takes a lot of the stress off, and it gives us an opportunity to really get in here, play, and learn some techniques. Oh, coloring the flowers with the Copic, the stamens. I also have a tutorial on making your own stamens if you happen to be in another country where it's very difficult to find these things. You can make them with floral wire and hot glue and then paint them. Now, see how that little pop of red just sort of brings that to life? This is the fun part to me. This is where we get to be creative. Because notice we didn't start out with a spray that was already made. That's easy. We made our own. And of course, if you don't think you can do it, which I think you can, because I have the most talented subbies in the universe, if you don't think you can do it, there's always an alternative for buying one already pre-made. But to me, this is so relaxing. Now, when it gets into these little tiny things like this, I will take and pinch these stinkers together and hold them with tweezers, get them where I want them, so I don't get that hot glue on my fingers, because that will ruin your Christmas. And notice that what I'm doing here is I am going from one side to the next, from one side to the next. Nothing gets left, you know, I just went here, 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 or here, here, and here, okay? And I can make another one and poke it in here if I want to, but let's move on. I want to go ahead and get this down next. I'm going to put that right up there. And this just gives me a nice base. I like to have it hanging off the top a little bit. And then I think I want one coming down here just a little too to hide that. I don't know, just to give a platform. But I want the stem going this way, opposite of this one. Okay, now I'm not going to glue this down yet because I want to use this to hide all of the unforgiving things. So let's build out our other spray, which I thought I already did, but if I dropped it on the floor, I don't know what I did with it. So 1, 2. What did I do with it, guys? Where did you see me throw it down somewhere? Let me see if it fell on the floor. Yep, there it is. Do you guys have the floor issue where the floor tries to eat everything? Okay, so we've got our 3 flowers. Just as a review, we're going to pull them down at different levels. This one doesn't have any shine on it. How did that happen? Just slightly missed it. Okay, then we're going to take it, put our pine cone here in the center, and wrap those stinkers up. Okay, and we're going to take these. I want one over here. One over on this side. Yep, you gotta use your third hand. You gotta hold your mouth just right too. I used to complain to my grandpa that I couldn't get something to work, and he'd say, well, you're not holding your mouth right. And it always just amazed me, some of the things that they would say. I'd be like, what? That just sounds ridiculous. But it's true. Think about it. When you're really concentrating, you got your mouth open, you got your tongue just right. Okay, so now this one is going to get tucked in right here. So again, we're just going to take it to the back. That pine cone, we're going to put, I don't want glue on my flower heads because I want to be able to manipulate those. Okay, just the stem. And we're going to stick it right there. Just like that. Doesn't the pine cone just make it? I just, oh, love it. Love it, love it. Okay, here comes our holly. I'm going to cover that piece up right there. So we don't want to see that. And I'm going to take and put one piece right up here at the top. Whoops. And see, if we'd have glued all those heads down, we wouldn't be able to lift that up to put that holly under there. So that's another reason, don't glue them down. This one needs to go right over here, but I'm going to put it on top of the tulip. So it's going to go right there, like that. Isn't that pretty? All those different layers. And again, take your tweezers. Don't get hurt. I'd feel bad if your Christmas was ruined because you had hot glue fingers, because I was showing you how to do this. Oops. Okay. Then this goes in here. Whoops. Stay! Okay, it helps if you physically like mount it to something. Okay, then we're going to take these, just fold it in half. And if you want to, you could actually cut them in half and tuck them around. You could probably get them in a little better. And until they're good and dry, they're going to be sticky. And that ink might come off of them. So just bear with them until they're dry. I just leave them in here overnight. Alright, I'm not sure where I want this one. If I want to put it coming up here, and or up here, I think I want it up here. I think I'm going to put it right there. And I can always do more. Okay, then this guy is going to go right here. Like that. Now, on these are in the chipboard set. And what I did was I took the Starlight pen, and this is the Jelly Roll, and it's just glitter, basically, in a pen form. And I went over, on this one I'm going to go over Merry Christmas, and it's just going to give it a little pop. And I'll show you the difference in just a second. And you'll go, oh yeah, it so needed that. I didn't want stickles because stickles can get sticky, and it's too bulky, and it's too hard on these really fine little tiny pieces. But see how it just shimmers now. Look at that. Now this one I haven't done yet, and this one I have. So that just kind of gives you a nice feel for what they look like. It just adds that little touch of jewelry. And all I'm going to do is go over the lines that are pre-printed on the ornament like I'm tracing. Be neat with it. A little tiny subtleties like this will make the whole book come to life. And I did the tops of the bulbs too, where the little cap thing is, because they're always shiny. Okay. Undo the caps. Now look at it. Now look at how shiny it is. That just made, these are called Starlight pens from Jelly Roll, and I love them. Okay, I want this to be dead center, but I want it to appear like it's hanging from my swag here. And I think because of the jump rings, this ornament's a little bigger. I want it to come off over here, just a little bit. And this one, I think I want to come off over here because it's a little smaller, so it doesn't interfere with my jump rings. And look at how cute that is. So now's the trick to glue them down. So they're stickers, but that sticker isn't going to be enough to hold this in place on this burlap. So I'm putting hot glue in there. And I want the red one to sit on top, so I'm going to just pull it away for right now. Get these glued down. And put these final touches on our book. And it's ready to start adding our pages to it. And again, just follow me on my blog. Follow me on the Flamingo Scraps Facebook wall. I'll be posting them all there. On my YouTube channel. And Suzanne can drop the links. So if you are a follower of mine, just go to my blog, and links to everything is on my blog. Same thing with Suzanne. Just go to flamingoscraps.com, and she's got links to everything there. That's the store. And then I think there's flamingoscraps.blogspot.com is the blog, and the design team has been doing these awesome projects lately. And they definitely, you know, go check them out. Leave them some love. They do a fabulous job. Now this, I have gone back and forth with this little guy. I don't know if I want him up here. And I think this is where he's going to live. I think I just really like him tucked in. You don't need to see the whole Merry Christmas to know it says Merry Christmas. Or you could put it on top of the flower. I've gone back and forth. What do y'all think? You think right here? Here, or here. I think I like it up here. That's where it's going. I don't even know why I asked you guys. That's what my husband says. He goes, why do you even ask my opinion? Because you're going to do what you want. I just like it covering up that hole a little bit. Just like that. And there you go. So this is what our book looks like right now. We got this in here. And this is our back cover. And I don't typically do anything to my back covers. This inside page we'll decorate, but it's already getting late here, so we'll just do it during our regular posts. So again, if you really like this project, follow me along this entire, follow me along this entire journey. We are going to be creating these every week of December, and next month we are going to continue working in it to prepare for our first day. And since it'll be the 2nd of December when you join us, we will go ahead and do pages 1 and 2 as well. So that's what we got done tonight. Did you guys enjoy it? And then this is what the inside looks like. And Flamingo Scraps has sold out of the kit, but they are pre-ordering it, so please go ahead and let Suzanne know if you want it. It's a pre-order only. And like I said, let me show you this. I said it was a spoiler alert, but let me show you this. This is my first page in my book. I've already done it, so you guys can go ahead and do this. I took... I don't know what I did with it. Where did it go? These are those 4x6 photo sleeves right here. You get them I got this one at Walmart, but I think they are in every photo center, and they already have these, like, the holes already punched in them. And what I did was I dropped sequins down into the bag, and then I stitched with a zigzag stitch right across here. This is one of the cards that came from the stash, or came from the capture pad, and I just backed it with a piece of cardstock here with the doilies punched on either side. So this is going to be my cover page for my book. Whoops. It's not going to have a date on it. This is just the cover. You know, when you open the book, you've usually got some kind of cover page. And now I'm not going to be able to get this back in here because I can't see. Isn't it amazing how you can create completely upside down, but you can't see between two pieces of plastic? There. Remind me to never pull that out again, ever, for any reason. But the cool thing about it is here on the back, I can just slap a 2x3 photo right there, and that starts day 1. So it's going to go ahead and go right on in here. So go ahead and find these sleeves, and I think this is why I decided to go with just 2 jump rings too, because that made that super simple to put those in. And then, you know, whenever I get ready to add these, they're going to go right in here on these little rings, just 1 ring, and it's going to be so cute. Oh my goodness, guys, this book is going to be adorable. So there we go. That's day 1. And I don't know what I did with it. But if you put, here it is. The next day that goes behind it is going to be green, or this red, like this. So it's just going to pop. See how that's going to pop up there? Isn't that cool? Yes, the jump rings help you move things around. And you know what? At the end, when this book is full of goodness, I may take these out and tie it with seam binding, because I just think the seam binding would just be gorgeous. Thank you guys for hanging out with me tonight through this long process. I hope the video recorded. If it didn't, then they need to be here live, I guess. I don't know. But I hope it recorded. It probably recorded in 3 or 4 parts because I saw it cut off a couple of times. But I will try and do an overview video on YouTube. So for those of you who missed it, you'll get a, I'll try and do a quick little run through of what we did. It just, I love it. It has subtle country charm. I just love it. It's sparkly. I don't even know if you can see the sparkles. And like I said, I may come back in here to the spray and add a couple more berries here and there. You know, it might need a couple more, but for now, you guys got the idea. So does anybody have any questions that I can answer? I will post a picture of this tomorrow, yes, of both this and this. Super simple. And you know, guys, I'm going to encourage you to use what you have in your stash. If you don't have burlap but you have canvas, use canvas, because canvas would make it really pretty too. Thank you so much. Yes, the cover sizes are 7 by 7. 7 by 7. The interior pages are going to be 6 by 6. So the exterior cover, I want it to be a little bit big so that if things do happen to poke out around edges or peekaboo or whatever, that they don't hang over the side. Hi, Marlene. I didn't see you sneak in. Canvas would be beautiful because you could spray that canvas whatever color you wanted. So, and you could do the total mixed media thing with the canvas. You could pull out your stencils, you could pull out your stamps, and really go to town with the canvas. I just happen to like the look of the burlap, so I went with the burlap. Hi, Scrappy Key. Oh, thank you. Well, it's going to be an awesome mini. And don't forget, I know the video kept cutting in and out, so I'm not sure where you guys were with the video, but don't forget, this is a perpetual class. We are going to do this now. Then we also have sometime mid-November, I'm going to try and post, it might be the end of November, but I'm going to try and post me putting all my pages in here. And I may not do that, actually. Come to think of it, if I'm going to create the book as I go, I may just do week 1. I'm going to go ahead and think out week 1 so that you can be prepared to join me so we don't get behind. And then December 2nd, join us again, same kit. We're going to build out our little number tags to go, and if they don't get as individuals inside of these hooks, then we're going to use them on the spray as clusters. So, and then as I go once a week, in the week of December, every Friday, I will post that week's daily video, like just a video to just kind of show what I did for that week, so you guys can follow along with me. And hopefully, if you've got somebody helping you break it out where it's not so overwhelming, we'll all do it together. You're holding me accountable because I'm having to do a blog post once a week. And, you know, maybe if we do this together, we'll have a bunch of these just flooding the market. So I'd love to see what you guys are creating. Please make sure you go to Flamingo Scraps' Facebook wall and post your projects as you go along too, because I want to see what you guys have done, and I want to see what I've inspired you guys to do. So make sure you go and do that. I hope that the video recorded. There was some issues. It stopped midway. Last year's December Daily stopped midway too. It's really weird. So I'll do just a review post as well, just to kind of catch everybody up to speed. I think once you have a photograph of it, I think it's all pretty simple. You could probably follow along and once you saw the video, or once you saw a photograph. Nothing in here was super complicated except for the floral spray. Yes, friend Flamingo Scraps on Facebook, because that's where you get the 411 on what's going on. And you also, oh my goodness, guys, traditionally Flamingo Scraps has amazing Black Friday sales and Cyber Monday sales. So the first place you're going to find out about that is the blog, and you're also going to find out about it on the Facebook wall. So the blog populates the Facebook wall. So make sure you friend them, make sure you subscribe to them, and their design team does a fabulous post every day. Every day there's a post on the Flamingo Scraps wall. So their design team is just amazing. No half-done projects this year. That's right. We've got a goal. We're going to get them done. Hey, I think that if you're not a blogger, I think if you started blogging, you're held accountable, because you have to do it for the blog. And you know what? Now that I'm looking at this, I'm probably going to go over this with my Starlet pen and kind of make this a little sparkly too. Maybe go over some of these little areas in here with my Starlet pen. Whoa, Anne-Marie, you got yours done following along with me tonight? Awesome. But Anne-Marie's had her kit for a while. I think she was ready. I can't wait to see how you guys give it your spin. Because, you know what? The things I like are not going to be exactly the way your Christmas went out. And how you blog and it doesn't help you to finish projects. I understand. I totally understand. And you know what's so funny is every year I start out with these great intentions to do a December daily, and by about week 2 I'm done. I've lost it. I'm just too busy. So this year, with doing a blog post, I'm hoping that I stay a little more committed to it. Okay, guys, I'm going to sign out of here. I'm getting hoarse. I've had a very bad sore throat for 3 or 4 days, so thank you so much for coming tonight and watching this. We had a great audience tonight, lots of feedback. Again, I hope you guys really enjoyed it, the class. And as always, even if it didn't record, if you've missed a step and you don't understand what happened, just shoot me an email or a private message somewhere, and I'll try and go over it with you and let you know what to do. Or if it's a question that's just too in-depth, I will try and do a video. Thank you, Kim, for coming. You're on the other side of the world from me. Julianne, thank you for coming. Anne-Marie, thanks for coming. Peggy, Luann, Donna. Was Melissa here tonight?